Is this the beginning of the end for traditional 9 to 5 jobs? Let's talk about it. Hey there, I'm Kathleen, and if you're new to my channel, here we talk about lifestyle, entrepreneurship, and faith. And this video is for anyone who might be wondering if the traditional 9 to 5 work structure is kind of losing its edge. If you want more content from me, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and you can also check out my Substack where I share tips, reflections, and guidance for moving through life's transitions with more ease and less chaos, one shift at a time. So let's get into it. It seems like every week we're hearing about more and more people, hundreds of thousands of people losing their jobs. So many companies are laying off people, and a lot of people we're hearing about extended periods of unemployment. I'm talking about 6 months or more, up to 2 years or more. So, what are people supposed to do? Because this isn't sustainable. Now, it's early 2026, and people are saying that this job market is extremely rough. I'm talking about jobs have hundreds of applicants for a single job, and job seekers are applying to hundreds, if not thousands, of jobs and getting maybe one or two interviews. And of course, there's the hidden job market that says 80% of open jobs or opportunities are never posted online. So it's really about who you know and your network. But what happens if you don't have a network or if you don't know people who can help you find these opportunities? Now, I've been through some difficult job markets before. In 2020, I was laid off at the height of the pandemic and I was unemployed for an entire year because I worked in an industry that basically disappeared overnight. And then in 2022, I left a job without one lined up during what they were calling the Great Resignation. And then later, I was fired from a job because of company internal politics. So I can definitely understand when people say that this job market is rough. I believe that. And it's been rough for some years. And I'm also hearing more and more people are saying that the more time they spend unemployed, like the longer they are without work, the less they really want to go back to traditional 9 to 5s or to, traditional corporate work environments. Because the longer you're removed from those environments, the more you start to see that these systems are so outdated. Let me know in the comments where you're at. Are you currently in a 9 to 5? Have you been recently laid off or have you been experiencing a prolonged period of unemployment? Let me know in the comments. I just want to get a sense of where people are. When I lost a job in the past because of internal politics, I used to say to people that the system's broken. But the more I thought about it, I realized that the system, it's working the way that it was designed. It just wasn't designed to, match how we live and think in 2026. I think most corporate environments, most traditional 9 to 5 workplaces, it's about control and performance metrics. You're expected to conform. In a lot of these places, you're expected to want to climb a career ladder or a corporate ladder. And you're expected to have all this energy and be excited and passionate about your work. And a lot of people associate or tie their identity and their worth to their job or their job title and their productivity. So that leads to a lot of ego and a lot of insecure leadership. Now, these are generalizations, and I'm sure there are some exceptions, so don't come at me. But the thing is that when you've been removed from these spaces, you start to realize that a lot of these work environments, it's not about the actual work. It's not about the clients or customers or members or whoever benefits from your product or service. It's about control. And the more that you're removed from that, you start to wonder, do I fit into those spaces anymore? And I mean, at the end of the day, you're not necessarily the problem. The problem is with these outdated systems. Nobody talks about how losing a job, being unemployed, messes with your nervous system, especially a prolonged period of unemployment. And, I know sometimes online people will say things like, well, this is why you should have X number of months of savings lined up. This is why you should be doing this. Maybe you weren't working hard enough. Are you trying? Are you applying? All those things. And that is not helpful because somebody like trying to tell somebody who lost their job what they should have been doing, like that is not helpful for anyone. At the end of the day, losing your job is a loss. And with any loss, there's grief. Even if it was a job that you hated, there's still going to be grief. Even if it was a job that you were trying to leave on your own, there is still going to be grief. So let's stop trying to tell people who, are in a period of unemployment or who got laid off, like what they should have been doing or what they should be doing. They are doing the best that they can. Now, again, a lot of people tie their worth and their identity to their job or their job title. So for some people, when they lose their job, it feels like they've also lost a part of themselves. But hear me when I say you are not your job. Remove any title, any achievement, any accomplishment you have, and you're still you. You still have your knowledge, you still have your skills, you still have your talents, and those are things that nobody can take away from you. But also, I do understand that a lot of us were trained to believe that if we do our job, do it well, be a team player, and not cause any problems in the workplace, then in return, we would at least have a job that pays the bills and more. But that's a sign that these systems are not working anymore. There are some signs that the traditional 9 to 5 structure is losing its power. Like long gone are the days of staying at one company for 20, 30, or 40 years and working your way up. Honestly, in my professional career, I never really subscribed to that because I learned early on that if you switch companies, you can make more money than, being an internal hire or an internal promotion. And I've seen it with my own eyes. I've had a job in the past where my coworker who had a higher title than me had been there about 5 years and they were making less money than I was making at my starting salary. So when I learned that, I said, there's no way I would stay at one company for that long. The reality is that the 9 to 5 work model was never built for nervous system safety or creativity or autonomy. And these are things that people are now valuing more and prioritizing more. Those are things that are like driving the decisions that people make now. So a lot more people are either looking for other options, either by choice or by force. And some people are creating options because again, when you've been removed from the traditional work structure, when you've been in the job seeking, job searching game for long enough, you might get a little disillusioned and start to realize that you have to create or you get the opportunity to create some options for your life. So again, what are people supposed to do? Well, there's a growing trend of more and more people choosing to have a portfolio career, which really just means that instead of, putting all your eggs in one 9 to 5 basket, you're using the skills that you have and spreading them out across different income streams, different opportunities, or different projects. So some examples of that are, if you're a writer, you can ghostwrite for other people. Or if you're a teacher or a learning designer, you can create courses for other people or teach something within your expertise or your subject matter. If you are in accounting or finance, you can, do bookkeeping or other types of financial education or courses or coaching. Or if you're in marketing, you can do social media management or other marketing tactics for small businesses, writing newsletters. Those are just some examples. And portfolio careers, that's actually something that I wish I kind of knew about or that I had followed or pursued earlier in my professional career because I have a lot of different skills and I always thought that I had to find opportunities that could leverage my skills. I didn't realize that I could leverage my skills. Now I know, but then I didn't realize I could leverage my skills and create essentially my own kind of ecosystem or my own career path. I don't have to use all of them for each opportunity. I could kind of like outsource different parts of my skills. Like I can do event management if I really wanted to. I could outsource project management. I could outsource writing, different types of marketing tactics I could outsource. So those are just, again, some examples of how you can use the skills that you already have. Because again, your skills don't go away. You have your skills and you can even get more skills. Use the skills that you have to create opportunities for yourself. Because the point is that if you are currently unemployed or if you are employed but you're worried about potential layoffs at your job, just know that you have options. Take a look at the skills that you have and just do some research about what are people looking for? Like what skills or what roles, contract roles, project-based roles, what type of work, let's say work instead of role, what type of work are people looking for? And what skills do you have that you can, exchange for work? So I think sometimes we might take our skills for granted. I know that I do. So you might not realize that people are probably willing to pay for a skill that you already have. And that skill that you have, it might not even take a lot of brain power from you to be able to, offer a service or to get the job done, to get the work done, because that's something you're so skilled at. But what if you genuinely don't want to work for yourself? You genuinely don't want to do consulting or contract work or project-based work? Honestly, I don't have all the answers. I just know that the rules are changing and you don't have to be a CEO. You just need different options. And you also just need to know that you can create those options. Look at the skills that you have and look at the skills that people, are looking for to pay for someone to do some work or take some work off their hands. Think about one income stream that you can build on, not five all at once. Just focus on that one and then you can spread it out. Or, just think about other opportunities or be open to opportunities that might look different than what you were taught to believe or trained to believe. Because again, the rules are changing. While 9 to 5s are going to be around, the power is in your hands to create options for what you want your professional life to look like. Thanks for watching. If you're new to my channel, make sure that you subscribe. And if you like this video, be sure to click the thumbs up so you can see more content like this. See you next time.